Hi, I'm Emily Deschweinitz-Taylor. I'm the author of Raising Mediators. I wanted to do a brief introduction so that you understand where I'm coming from in writing this book. I never started off thinking that I would write a book or that I would be a parenting expert on conflict resolution. However, several years ago, when I was in a conflict resolution master's program at the University of Denver, I came across research coming out of Canadian universities that demonstrated that even 3 year olds could learn how to mediate with their older siblings if their parents stepped in as helpers, as mediators themselves. Having had children as young as 3, and especially having had a child of 3 at that time, I wanted to know what I could do to have more peace in my home. So, after completing a master's and doing my thesis focused on the research for Raising Mediators, I hired an editor after I wrote a manuscript and self-published Raising Mediators. It's not something I ever planned to do, but when I came across the research, it was so compelling and so effective in my own life that I knew I had to share it. I hope that as you read this book, that you will see that many of the ways that you deal with conflict are only learned, and that your parents taught you in a certain way, and that you now, as parents, are teaching your children in a certain way. Unfortunately, a lot of the skills that we want our children to develop, such as collaborative problem solving, empathy, and perspective taking, are not taught deliberately at home or at school. So it's now up to you as parents to make sure that your children know how to solve problems with others. Conflict is normal. Each one of us will encounter many different types of conflict throughout our lives. Even daily, we encounter all kinds of conflict. Whether that becomes something that we can handle or not depends somewhat on the skills that we develop. I would definitely prefer that my children learn at a young age to problem solve, show empathy, and to take the perspective of another person, so that when they have a coworker, when they have a roommate, when they get married, that they know what to do instead of being afraid of conflict, that they have the skills that will allow them to progress and to work through conflict to actually build connection and understanding. Anyway, as you dive into this book, I hope that you'll see that these are skills that are accessible to anyone. This is not something reserved for some specialist. The principles of parent-led mediation are definitely within your grasp, meaning these are life skills. These are people skills that each of us can learn. We may not be perfect at it when we first start, but over time, you'll see the influence of having real conversations and working with the issues in your home and among your children and in all your relationships, that you have the skills to actually look at them and to work within those relationships to make better solutions, that you're not stuck just because of a certain way that you were raised or your children are being raised to encounter conflict and deal with it in one particular manner. We're actually a lot more flexible than that. Anyway, so good luck, and I hope that over time and through the blog posts that you'll find things that are interesting and valuable to you and to your family. Please don't leave conflict resolution to chance. It's something that I've had to make a concerted effort to learn and to practice in my own life, and it's still an ongoing process. Anyway, thanks for listening.